Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. It is Thursday, October 5th, 2023. I think you're muted there.
Yeah, it's still 2023, 223. Fucking
23.
nothing makes sense today.
Yeah, 23 are the amount of touchdowns that DJ Moore will have by the end of this game at this rate.
God, it's unbelievable.
Jeez. What is defense? I don't know. Who picked the Bears to win this game? Because it wasn't me.
The estate of Dick Butkus did. And I don't say that disrespectfully. Like, I mean, it's
the
like
fact
the Bears had to go out and win tonight, right? Like,
yeah, I literally
embarrass yourself on the night that your most famous player passes away.
One of your most famous, yeah.
One of.
So literally, it's funny. I bet at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Washington -6. Brian Robinson over like 60 rushing yards, anytime touchdown from him, and then I get the alert Dick Butkus died, and as I'm leaving work, I go, Bears will win by 1 million tonight.
Yeah.
You know who didn't put who didn't protect himself by betting the Bears? Me. Currently, if you listen to one of my other shows, the FKC Fantasy Hour with Ryan and Craig, Ryan did not start DJ Moore and Justin Fields, who would have combined for a total of 95.9 points. Or
also, Craig, by the way, no more AirPods, my dude.
Yeah, that was
horrible.
That was rough.
Horrible, Craig.
I listened to it. I listened back to it today, and I was like, "Oh, that's what Jim was talking about."
Oh man.
I'd just like to say, as a gay man, I prefer the Twinks over the Bears.
You really unmuted yourself for that.
Yes, 100%.
All right, so Joe's here, guys. You found that out.
Thank you for that.
Joined as always by the other half of the Fat Siders, Fat Hall.
Hey yo.
I love that, and I'm going to say this because I'm allowed to, because my birthday's in 45 minutes and my wife won't murder me. I love how every time I start to record a podcast, she comes out here and starts washing dishes. You can hear the water running in the background. I don't have headphones in. I don't have a microphone because I'm going to be joined by Joe in person here in a little bit when he leaves work. And literally, just like it's the standard quota. Mike's recording. Hold on. Let me open some sinks.
Is that a like Latino/Latina significant other trait? Because I ask Mikey once a week to spend the night at my house. I'm just like, hey, it'd mean a lot to me if you could once a week sleep over. That way we get extra time together and stuff. Why does it almost always pick Thursday nights? The one night a week where I do anything.
I mean, you're making it out to be the one night a week. I'm making it out that I record a show on Tuesday nights, sync time. Wednesdays, sync time. Thursdays at 11:15 at night, sync time. It's and she's looking at me right now, and she's trying to give me the side eye, but she's laughing hysterically because she knows I just called her out on her bullshit live on the air, and she's like, "Fuck you, Mike. You're right."
But again, you use the cheat code because it's almost your birthday, so you can get away with saying smart ass. You can get away with saying smart ass bullshit like that because you're not going to get fucking smacked on your fucking birthday.
Correct.
So you're smart like that.
I use it once a year, strategically.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't have the fucking balls to say that to my wife, but
what's the worst that's gonna happen? She's gonna karate chop me. It's been real.
I mean, I'm fat. One good hit to the fucking chest, and I could be done for.
I mean, Joe was Optimus Priming. He left, and now he's loading like fucking a Transformer.
Good Lord.
Yeah, buddy, I'm gonna need you to hurry up.
He's stealing EJ's internet again.
Are you in the van? And he's gone.
And he's gone. Good Lord. Again, it's the intern Mark internet. Like it really is. Like again, those two
They're the same
are
person.
the same guy.
They're
They
literally
really are the same guy.
I swear to God, WrestleMania weekend, we have to get a intern Mark and Joe, just a 15-minute dialogue.
Fuck.
We can do it in the parking lot of the Link while enjoying ice cold beverages on either Saturday or Sunday prior to the show. But I just need the diatribe between Bowser from Sha Na Na and Twinks R Us over here.
Oh my God. Fucking I don't know that I'm gonna be able to handle that situation.
My brain's gonna explode. So
Yeah.
all right. Before we get into our topics this week, it was the end of the month of September, so we had our wrestlers of the month. The gentleman who won first place has officially put himself in rarefied air, the first to crack 100 points for the year 2023. It is the current reigning and longest intercontinental champion of all time, the Ring General Gunther. He hit 25 points for winning the month, so he is at 122 points. He has cleared himself by 30 points of the gentleman who's in second place, which is Sami Zayn. Also cracking the top 5 is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He sits at 75 points. Damian Priest has cracked the top 10 as the Judgment Day finished second, getting 24 points. So he is sitting at 58 for the year, and I think his number could drastically go up. More on that at the end of the show. Eddie Kingston and Dominic Mysterio both jumped up this month. Eddie Kingston at 43 points, Dominic Mysterio at 46. Both of them are now in the top 20. We talked about this last month. I'm seeing more and more that I think that this may be Gunther's going away.
Yeah, I mean, he's not fading away anyway, right? Like, I mean,
It's consistency.
Yeah,
He's won a couple months, but he's also had months where it's 12 points, 12 points, 12 points. Like,
right, because even months that he's not winning, like because they're featuring this run and they're featuring Imperium and they're featuring the Intercontinental title, like,
and the matches that he's having.
Yeah, like he's just at the top. Like he's just gonna be there.
Yeah, and that's what I think at this point. I'm not one that, I mean, using the baseball terminology, I'm not saying that he's clinched the division, but I feel that the magic number is like 2. Right. He needs to win and a loss by somebody else, and
yeah, it was like when the Orioles took like 3 out of 4 from like Tampa in that late series, like the magic number was, like 6 with like, 8 or 12 to go or something like that, and it's like, oh, so it's literally just simple math now.
Happy early birthday, love you.
Thank you, love you.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi.
So, yeah, I'm not going to say it's his going away yet, but I feel like the magic number is closing very quickly. Me and Jim both had Chris Sabin in the top 5 this month. Joe had him at 7th. Joe's list almost was on the Ernest levels of confusion this month. I had MJF at 15. You had MJF at 14. He had MJF all the way up at 4. The Adam Cole match was fine. Winning the tag titles or whatever was cute, but I think Saraya, the Judgment Day, Christian, Ray Phoenix all had better months. He had Seth Rollins at 8. Neither one of us had him in the top 10 or the top 15.
Yeah, I mean,
same with Bryan Danielson. I didn't have him in the top 15. Neither did you. He had Bryan in the 10th spot. The strap match against Ricky Skaggs was good. I just didn't know that it was a top 10 level performance. I mean, what the hell do I know? I'm not Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, MJF has had, if you look at the last month, they would have been coming right off the tag title win.
Mm-hmm. Him retaining against Adam.
Him retaining against Adam Cole.
Him against Samoa Joe at Grand Slam.
Yeah, so it was a pretty, I would say it's a pretty good month for MJF. It just felt like, and this isn't meant to be a slight on Ring of Honor, but like, you're the AEW World Champion. Like this tag title run is
to continue a story for the world title, which now really doesn't matter because Adam Cole's ankle is fucking shattered.
Right. Well, yeah, it's going to be a long time till Adam Cole's back, which sucks, but here we are. You know, like
because long entrance ramps that are high off the ground are necessary.
Yep.
All right, that's wrestlers of the week, or excuse me, wrestlers of the month. At the end of the show, we'll nominate our picks for wrestlers of the week. I have a feeling it'll kind of have some AEW feel to it as we're coming off of Wrestle Dream. We're coming off of NXT No Mercy. But I guess speaking of Wrestle Dream, Jim, I believe the dream here is yours.
On this day. Yeah, that Adam guy is now in AEW. Yeah, look, we don't need to talk about Wrestle Dream. I don't think besides what we're talking about, there was anything really to write home about Wrestle Dream. It was a show that happened. For me, anyway.
I enjoyed Aussie Open and FTR. I thought that was a fun match.
It was fine.
I enjoyed the opener because you will never find a bigger stand for Katsuyori Shibata than yours truly.
Wawa Shibata melt. Yep,
Wawa Shibata melt. Yep, gotta love him. Him and Eddie Kingston beat the ever-loving fuck out of each other. We'll never be upset about that. But there was a lot of mid on this show.
There's a whole lot of mid. I mean, Bryan Danielson, Bryanson.
Yep.
I mean, him and Zack Sabre Jr. had like a really, really good match.
I feel like I would have enjoyed that match so much more if I was there.
Bingo. That's exactly what Ryan and I were talking about while we were watching it. Is like it definitely felt like a match that would have been great to see live. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. Would be awesome for an indie show.
I think it would have even been awesome for like a Wrestle Kingdom in Japan.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely had a New Japan feel to it. But like, here's my quote unquote problem with the match is like, it felt more like it didn't feel like an American arena wrestling match.
It felt more like it should have been seen at the Northwest Grumman Boys and Girls Club of America.
Yeah.
Than the Climate Pledge Arena.
Yeah. But anyway, end of the show. Christian and company are getting ready to beat down Stang and Darby. And then, of course, the lights go out because you always have to do things with the lights out.
That's what she said.
See what you did there. And then we see a little vignette of with weird like mariachi music almost of a guy going through the streets of Seattle.
Yeah, then, I'm sorry, I've been to Seattle. I've never seen.
It was a very weird, musical interlude there, but and then we hear "You Think You Know Him."
But it was a woman's voice. It wasn't the standard.
Well, yeah, because out of all of the things that the WWE like trademarks and still has, because the WWE recorded Etch saying "You think you know me," then you hear it. But you hear Beth Phoenix.
Are we sure that was Beth?
Yeah, it was confirmed, I think, in the scrum.
Okay.
Let me see if they have it.
On this day.
I wonder if I can. I'm gonna see if I can find. All right, let's see if it has the intro on this. Once I get through YouTube ads, because YouTube ads are stupid. All right, let's see if it has. So
On this day, I see clearly.
But yeah, so WWE doesn't own the rights to this music. They let the trademark for Rated R Superstar run out.
Well, I thought Edge said that because he's friends with the band Alter Bridge or whatever, wherever he goes, the song goes. Like
because it wasn't
WWE use it, but
Yeah.
it was always kind of like
it's kind of like
ego.
Punk in Living Color, yeah. Because he does know the band and like because like if you actually listen to the song Metalingus, like the beginning of the song is actually the end of the real song. Like the beginning of Adam's music is the actual end of the actual song. So yeah, so he makes his debut. He comes down, cleans house, and does the media tour thing this week. So Adam Copeland, the Rated R Superstar, Adam Copeland is All Elite. He is Adam number 47 on the AEW roster. But I get it. You can't.
It's the new mic.
It's fine. Because he didn't have any he obviously can't be Edge.
We call him Etch.
They should call him Edge. They coming to the ring corner. No. But so we kind of talked about this on 3CT tonight, and obviously it's the point of discussion here. It is what to you, what does this mean? What does this mean for you? For me, I think it's super cool for Adam Copeland. And honestly, for that dude, it doesn't need to change the wrestling business. It doesn't need to be the biggest thing to ever happen in the history of ever. You're talking about a guy that we all believed at one point his wrestling career was over completely because of this neck injury. And then we, in January of 2020, we get him back. And he goes out and kills it in the Royal Rumble. And we get him versus Randy at Pandemic Mania. And the greatest wrestling match ever. And we're like, man, this is really a freaking bummer that Edge is back and we don't get to see it live and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, fans come back and we get to do this run. And then, then he keeps killing it and killing it and killing it. And then he does his Judgment Day thing and he's doing Brood shit. And it's just, and then he has the this closing match in Toronto. And we're like, we can tell, man, he's definitely winding it down. And he said to us like a year ago, like he's going to be winding it down soon. And then like are beginning to like hypothesize like, well, maybe you'll go to like AEW for a minute and like do something with Christian. And honestly, man, it doesn't have to mean anything for AEW. It doesn't have to mean anything for anybody else except for the fact that this guy who didn't get to end his Hall of Fame career initially on his terms, gets to come back and do it. And if he goes to AEW and he does it with his best friend, and they're telling a story that's decades old, and they're continuing to, like, I saw a tweet tonight that talked about how, like, when Edge turned on Christian back in like 2011, and he said, like, I never thought I'd see the day where my partner became like a sniveling, whining little bitch. And then, here comes Adam. I want to be your partner again. Let's do it one more time. And this time it's Christian saying,
go fuck yourself.
Like, dude,
that's such a good.
It's so good. And like, these two guys are best friends for their entire lives. And they both got a second lease on this wrestling career. And they're going to,
I guess, just move that stroller and move the chair over. Oh, I muted the wrong person.
You did. And they're going to be able to sit here, and they're going to be able to tell this story together that nobody ever thought we'd get to see this anywhere.
Correct.
And we're going to get to see it. And Adam's kids told him, go have fun with Uncle Jay. That's all this needs to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything bigger. It doesn't have to change the business, because it's not. And that's no disrespect to Adam or Christian or AEW, but it's a fact. Edge signing with AEW in 2023 is not going to change the wrestling business.
No,
But it doesn't have to.
No, it at this point, as I move around here to make this easier once Joe sits down.
Sit down, Joe.
Yeah. Looking at this and looking at the grand scheme of things, when it comes to Edge and AEW, like you said, it doesn't have to be anything more than Christian and Edge having fun and doing their thing, and inevitably the time where Edge gets to share the ring with the Stings and the Darby All-Ins and the Luchasauruses of the world. All right, yeah, I'm about to put this stand back up. Hold on. I was sitting here trying to think that this was going to be easier to do this, but it's not. So we're going to move around my house some more. All right, there we go. Now we can see Joe, kind of. So at this point, when you look at it from the perspective of, will this be the biggest signing in AEW history? Probably not. Will this be the most important signing in AEW history? Probably not. Will this be one of the funnest signings in AEW history? Probably. Because it's going to be fun to see what happens next. It's going to be fun to see him share the ring one more time or multiple times with Christian. It'd be fun to watch him team up with Christian inevitably once Christian goes face or whatever. It'll be fun to see him share the ring with Sting, with Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, a match however many years in the making, again with Chris Jericho, because I think that's inevitably going to happen. I'd love to see Edge and Christian take on the Young Bucks and have some fun there. The only match that I don't need to see is Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. I don't
no,
need.
Dear God, no, please, no.
I said this last night on the Earnestly Speaking show. Ernest had me on. We were talking a little bit about Edge debuting, and I said, I don't need Tony Khan trying to remake TLC. I don't need him trying to remake that feud, because they're
at least from the Dudley side. The beauty is that both Bubba and Devon just signed some sort of Legends deal with WWE, so they can't come to AEW.
I'm just saying, I don't need to see Edge and Christian and the Hardys number 7,304. It was cool in the 90s, cool in the early 2000s. Jeff Hardy's done way too many drugs. I'm good. I don't need to see it.
They're all old and busted. Yeah, we do not need that.
I would much rather see the dream matches. I'd rather see Edge and Christian take on FTR, the Young Bucks, Aussie Open. I think those are more the matchups that I need out of this final run. But and I said this also on Ernest's show last night, as someone who was in the audience in the Georgia Dome the night that Edge's career, for lack of better terms, died in our arms. And we watched what we thought was his final match. I want him to have this moment, and I want him to have fun with it. Because if there's a guy who has an opportunity to push the sun back into the sky for a little bit longer and have a little bit more fun, I think there isn't a guy who deserves it more than him. He had everything, and it was ripped out of his hands. And he was coming out of WrestleMania. He was coming out the world champion. He was going to have some feuds that were coming up that I thought were going to be great for his in-ring career. And in the blink of an eye, it was all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is, he's going to come in, he's going to feud with Christian and Luchasaurus for a little while, and then inevitably he's gonna go off to something else, and then eventually Christian's going to come around to it and be like, you know, you were my only friend, and they're going to do one final run in the tag division. I'm okay with them being the AEW World Tag Team Champions for a little while, but I think that has to happen for the legacy.
I saw a note somebody had pointed out that there was like hidden meaning in the line on the promo last night about, you know, they're gonna Luchasaurus, and then they're gonna leave you when they sucked all the knowledge out of you. That's what Judgment Day did to Edge.
Correct.
Yeah. So like it's you know, there's so many layers to it. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that's the thing that I take out of this, is that if there's someone that deserves to have a good time, and you know, it may and he may not be there for a long time, but he's there for a good time. So if that's what this is, or if he's there for the next 2 years, I'm okay with that too. Like, I just want him to be healthy. I want him to have fun. I want him to enjoy what he's doing. And I think that's my takeaway from the leaving me on the edge of my seat.
And here's the deal. Like, I know I think we even talked about it on this show, is we kind of had this theory that he was going to, shit, I said theory, calm down, Joe. But we kind of had this theory that he would go and he would go play in AEW for a little while and come back and you know, finish up at WrestleMania or something like that. And that may still happen. He still may have his last match at WrestleMania or SummerSlam in Toronto, or you know, something like that. But if he doesn't, and his last pro wrestling match ever is in AEW, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Edge's WWE farewell is in front of the crowd at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada, on Friday, on the show that like he was such a huge part of the history of, SmackDown,
mm-hmm.
And the crowd salutes him, and Sami Zayn and all these people come out of the back and tell him what they mean to him. That's a perfectly fine WWE farewell for that character.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I want to look at this from a different angle.
Devil's avocado?
Yes. You know, those are like really expensive right now if you get your hands on some and sell them on eBay. Just saying. At least they were like 6 months ago. I don't know if that's still a thing. That might still be a thing. Anyway.
Squirrel.
So this is great. I think we can all agree that this is great for Edge. This is great for AEW. Is it great for Christian? Because, and let me lay this out. Christian's been having arguably the best run of his career as a single star up until this point in AEW. This is a man who's been Impact World Champion more times than probably Jeff Jarrett. This is a man who was World Champion in WWE, was Intercontinental Champion, had some great runs, all of that. But his run in AEW, his run when he showed up, when everyone was kind of like, all right, this is kind of cool, we guess. And then he kind of went on, had some great matches with Kenny Omega. And now the fact that he can get the heel heat that Dominic Mysterio can get this far into his career when he is such a loved legend by so many fans, and he could still get people to boo him. He doesn't even have to try that hard. All he has to do is hit on Darby Allin's mom's ghost or something. Nick Wayne's mom, whoever. It's not hard.
Respectfully, by the way.
I understand, I guess. I don't know. Older people don't do anything for me. Anyway, I'm just saying Christian's run right now has been incredible. Is it going to hurt Christian's run if now it just becomes he has to lose to Edge eventually and then team up with Edge again eventually, which he hasn't actually really done since 2001?
Does he have to lose to Edge?
I feel like that's the direction they're probably going to go in, right?
If Edge beats Luchasaurus, Edge beats Nick Wayne, but he can't get past the final boss in Christian, and then you have Christian lose the TNT title to somebody else and then move from somewhere else to somewhere else, and you eventually get back to them, I think it's fine. Also, you can also pull this card out. He hit on Nick Wayne's mom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can hit on Edge's mom?
What's stopping him from hitting on Beth Phoenix?
Oh.
That'd be interesting. He's like, you are a mom.
Exactly.
I could get behind that.
mean, he's got the creepy little bastard going again.
Yeah.
It was when he was the most healed in WWE, was when he was the COB. He's got that fucking mojo going on. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. It's definitely not beneficial if the goal here is to have Edge beat him.
Right. Or even them being a team. I don't know how, yeah, it's a cool nostalgia act thing.
In 6 months to a year, when this has kind of run its course.
Yeah.
When he can't hit on anybody else's mom.
Yeah.
That's when I'm talking about a tag team. I'm not like, hey, so I beat Nick Wayne this week. I beat Luchasaurus next week. Right. I beat Christian at Full Gear in November. We're a team in January. I'm not talking that rapidly.
To be fair, the way AEW books sometimes,
that's probably going to be the case. They're going to win. They're going to win the tag titles at New Year's Smash 2.0 over here. Let's be real. But the way I look at it is, there's a lot of fun things that you can do with Edge to keep him away from Christian when this is over. I don't think Edge takes the TNT title from Christian. So as long as Christian is the champion, I think he wins this feud long term. And I think it gets more attention on the TNT title, which is always a good thing. Bryan Daniel Bryanson is fighting in a number one contenders match for that title. Let Bryan win it at whatever show, and Edge be in his corner to make sure that Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne don't get don't get involved. I'm okay with that. Let Bryan hold that title for a little while and get even more prestige on that, and let Christian just focus on trying to beat his best friend, even though he doesn't have friends and he wants everyone to fuck off. Whatever. So when I look at it, it's to answer Joe's question. I don't think it hurts Christian. I don't necessarily think it helps Christian. It's not like this is man, we really need to find a way to get this asshole heel Christian gimmick over. How can we do it? Well, let's bring in his best friend, who's also married to a WWF Hall of Famer, and let's just fuck around and find out. All right. So it's not like that's the case. I'm
so afraid to move.
There, right? Yeah, we'll put that there for right now.
And I mean, and here's the thing. There's potential for it to have a negative impact on Christian.
Right.
If not done correctly. If if Adam just comes in here and they rush the feud, Adam wins the title, breaks up Luchasaurus and this little faction they got going, and Christian begins to play second fiddle to Adam Copeland, then yeah, that's going to be really bad. I would hope that Tony Khan, at the very least, is smart enough to not do that. But yeah, I mean, I think there's at least a valid concern there that that this could have a negative impact. But I don't say this very often, but I trust that AEW / Tony Khan will not screw this up, because honestly, I think that the Christian Adam Copeland stuff is going to be told more by Adam and Christian than it is by Tony Khan. I think Tony is going to be there to make sure that it doesn't run over time. I think Tony Khan's going to be there to make sure that, that it just, he's aware of what's going to happen. But I think this is going to be the Adam and Christian project. I really do. So I like, and that's exactly how it should be.
I agree with you. I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess the question here, the last question about Edge. After Christian, what's the move?
The funny thing is, I feel like, and this is another example of sometimes I do think AEW gets to where it's trying to go too quickly. And I get it. Sometimes, you don't want to sit on things. You want to strike while the iron's hot kind of thing. I feel like I would have enjoyed this from the jump more if they were kept separate. Like, I think Edge should have come in, and I know this is not the world we're in, but Edge should have come in, and we should have gotten some of the dream matches out of the way. Like, Edge should have been brought in, and let's have that match with Kenny Omega. Let's have that match with Jericho. Let's do, maybe not Jericho, but, let's do, some of the big matches that we're all like, okay, this is new, this is fresh, we haven't seen this before. And put Christian on the back burner, because you can always go to the Christian well. You can always go to Edge versus Christian. Unless one of them is planning on retiring in specifically the next 12 months, you've got time to get there. I don't know that needed to be right where we started. So, I mean, and to say that, to answer your question, I guess that the answer for me is after the Christian thing is over, which could be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to, a year, then you go into the dream match scenario stuff. Maybe, maybe there is something there with him and Jericho. Maybe he could try to start a group with Jericho and things are going really well, but then, he kicks Jericho out of the group and then Jericho has no friends.
I can't wait for the main event Mafia 2.0. Him and Sting and Jericho and fuck it. I can't wait. Sign me up.
I think the reason they started with the Christian thing is because you're going to tell the solo story, like the single story now, and you're eventually going to get, because you have to get Christian over Adam to get sympathy on Adam, make Christian look more like a prick, help push Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus, and then because eventually Lucha and Nick Wayne have to turn on Christian, and Adam has to be there to be like,
Luchasaurus has to turn on Christian.
Yeah, so, and then Adam has to be there to be the best friend that's always been in the background. It's always been there. It's always been about us. It started with us. Let's end with us. So you got to tell the first story first to be able to get to the later story. So after Christian, you do the Kenny Omega stuff. You do a match with somebody at Wrestle Kingdom. You do
wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know against who, but I would bet on Edge being at the Tokyo Dome.
Without question.
I can't wait for the Bryan Danielson Edge Sting winning the 6-man tag titles on night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh God.
Why not?
I mean, he won tag titles with Hulk Hogan. Why not win the AEW tag titles with Sting?
No, real talk. You want to know the match that I would actually do for Wrestle Kingdom? Like 100%, because this is outside the AEW bubble. You can do this in New Japan, and you can just throw it on the wall and make it happen. Give me Adam Copeland versus Will Ospreay.
You could do that in AEW. He's part of the fucking Don
Yeah,
Callis
I know,
family.
but you can't do it in Tokyo Dome in AEW. That's what I'm saying. Like put them.
I know one of the names he has mentioned is he wants to work Okada. Put that in the Tokyo Dome.
He's not wrestling Okada this year.
Right, Okada's champion, isn't he?
I think so.
I think he's the first fighting Naito.
If he's not, he has the briefcase. It's one of the two.
But like, do some of that stuff. I think if you're gonna have Adam Copeland win the world title, you find a way to make that happen sooner than later. Because here's the thing, and I don't not to be the black cloud over the happiness that is Adam and Christian together and happy fun time, but these are two guys that had very serious injuries that almost ended their career completely. So like
see Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryanson.
Like, yeah, like there's same with him, but like there's always that bad chance that something could happen. It could happen to any wrestler, by the way. Like this isn't, but like when you have a guy who's had the history that they have had, like that, I think that's another reason that you do the Christian program, or at least a portion of it, right away.
So you don't play the what if.
Right.
You let him have his fun.
Correct.
You let him and do the thing that he wanted to do. Then you can pivot to the rest of the stuff. Adam Cole probably was the one that was inevitably going to take the world title off of Maxwell Jacob Friedman with help from Roddy in the Kingdom. With the ankle injury, with him now missing a substantial amount of time, do we let Edge beat him for the title?
Absolutely. Because there's people.
Jay White is fighting him at Full Gear. That's been announced. Bang Bang Gang versus MJF. If it is Adam that beats him, when do you have him beat him?
What's after Full Gear?
Nothing until Revolution.
Well, as of right now.
That's the past.
Right,
but Revolution hasn't even really been announced.
Right, but what I'm saying though is like also in the past though, we didn't have All In and then All Out and then Wrestle Dream. Like they're adding shows, so like I wouldn't be shocked if there was something in between there.
I don't know that I want to add anything in the month of fucking January.
I don't want to add anything.
Enjoy going up against the playoffs.
Like factually, I don't want to add anything, but I'm just saying like.
So they usually do a Dynamite Winter is Coming, which is always one of the big episodes in December.
Yeah.
New Year's Smash is usually a big show. And then obviously, but like we've also heard a lot of buzz that AEW is going to move pay-per-views to a streaming service, something under the Warner Brothers Discovery umbrella, and go to monthly or at least more pay-per-views a year. So if that happens, then you can do that at whatever the December pay-per-view or January pay-per-view is, right? Like, because it'll now be a big show. Like maybe New Year's Smash or Bash or Crash or whatever the hell it's going to be, that becomes your January pay-per-view. And I mean, that's a hell of a thing. 4 years after he returns to wrestling, he becomes AEW World Champion.
I can't wait to watch AEW Day One. So bad. That's such a bad name.
See, I actually like Day One because it was literally on day one of the year.
Day one-ish.
I mean, obviously, you can only do that every 6 years if you want to execute it, but that's fine.
Inevitably, obviously, the goal is for them to have the tag title match to win the tag titles. I don't think they'll win the titles from FTR because I think we're a year away from that being like a realistic thing, them actually fighting for the tag titles. Is there anyone like off the beaten path that we're not thinking about that's on the roster that you want to see him have a match with?
I don't think.
Is there anyone who you don't want to see him have a match with?
93.4% of the roster.
Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy,
Dark Order.
Anybody Big Bill, Chris Jericho. Like, I don't need repeaters of WWE feuds.
Super bad Kip Sabian.
Griff Garrison.
He's gonna read off the whole roster now.
Mike Bennett, Matt Taven.
Pretty much. Lance Archer.
Lance Archer on the roster?
Technically. God, they have the biggest roster of all time.
Honestly, the match that I want to see, there's two matches. It's him against Andrade, and it's him against Myro.
Yeah, those would be good. Those would be really good matches.
But I don't need to see him against Preston Vance.
No. I mean, him and OC could have a pretty fun fucking banger. I tell you that much.
That could be fun. Could you imagine if we sent Hook?
That could be fun.
Bring back Danhausen once he's healthy.
Mariachi Black. Or Malachi Black, whatever the fuck his name is.
What if we put the Ring of Honor World title on him?
Nah. You gotta go AEW title.
I mean, we could do both.
You could, but
all right, Roman Reigns, chill the fuck out.
Who gives a shit about? No offense, Ring of Honor. Who gives a shit about that title right now?
I mean, if they did something with the show, I think people would. But...
Well, like, what if Edge, Christian, and Beth Phoenix become like the maple syrup bloodline of AEW?
The maple line?
Yes, the maple line. And Jericho can be involved in the feud too, and so can Omega and Don Callis. Like, this could work out really well. I
feel like I need to go take a shit up.
Like, Edge could come out to the ring and be like, "Hey, buddy, why you got that?
Why did you just give a Canadian a British accent?"
No,
he tried to do Terrence and Phillip.
Yeah.
All right, fuck you, buddy.
I saw what you were trying to do, Joe. I
knew it was too, but I don't understand how he turned fucking Canadians French.
Because that's what gay people do.
Oh, sacre bleu. So yeah. Anything else on Edge?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm very curious to see what they do with this Christian thing. I think it's going to be a hell of a story.
Did y'all realize that he'd be able to use his music in AEW?
I didn't.
I'm surprised by that.
It doesn't surprise me. I don't know that I didn't necessarily expect it. I thought maybe because I know he's friends. I knew he was friends with the Alter Bridge guys. I thought maybe they'd record something new for him.
Mm-hmm.
But the WWE that wasn't their music. Like, they didn't own it, so
that wasn't.
It doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Right. I got an idea for it. I could throw this out there now, but maybe it's just a topic for like next week. Who would you like to see get kind of the Edge run in AEW? Like, what veteran in WWE right now, possibly injured, possibly not, would you like to see come into AEW and get like the kind of run that Edge is going to get?
I thought you were going to tell me what was the dream match, and I was about to be like Adam Page,
okay.
Christian Cage, Brian Cage, Ethan Page inside of a steel cage with Adam Copeland, the Rated R Rampage on fucking Collision. But
no, it'd have to be on Rampage.
Oh yeah, you're right. Rated R for Rampage. That makes sense. Rated R for
Rampage. He's not in WWE anymore. But Dolph Ziggler.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ziggler's a good one.
Dolph Lundgren.
My mind very quickly went to AJ Styles.
That's fair, but I think he's actually WWE for the rest of his life.
Or
I have one.
Orton.
He's fighting for the world title.
Drew.
Shinsuke.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Give me old Nakamura.
Give me.
So yeah, I'm all in on Shinsei Toyota coming over and getting the Adam run. All right, so Joe, this is your topic.
That's my topic.
Yeah,
Right.
main event Philly.
Okay. Real easy. There's 2 nights of WrestleMania. That's a thing now. They've figured out ways to squeeze more money out of us. And since there's 2 nights, that means there's 2 main events. Because there's a match to end each show. And the question,
Really?
Yeah, that's the way they do it. And,
Shit.
I know, right? It's weird. And the question is,
I just thought they turned the lights on.
I mean, occasionally. It's kind of what happened at the end of 30.
It was.
So the question is, what do you think should be the 2 main event matches of WrestleMania? What closes night 1 and what closes night 2? Because I think for a while we've all had in our heads, oh, it's going to be Roman and Cody. It's going to be a direction, finish the story, yada yada. And then The Rock showed up on a random episode of SmackDown, kind of threw all that into who knows. You got Seth Rollins running around with another world title out there. You got Gunther on this like intercontinental god run, putting himself in a big position. You've got a lot of pieces out there. You've got women. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen the women in a main event, and certainly the way that Rhea Ripley's been as an act could potentially deserve a main event spot. So there's a lot of room out there. So I just kind of want to know what you guys think maybe could be or should be, like what you'd pitch as the main events of WrestleMania. And I think we should have the birthday boy go first, since he's officially the birthday boy as of 3 minutes ago. So
that's me. You guys want to do night 1 first and then night 2?
Sure. Naito?
Yes, Tetsuya. My night 1 main event, it is going to be for a women's title. It is going to be for the title currently on the blue brand. We've talked about Charlotte Flair. We're going to draw as much money as possible. It's Charlotte Flair. It's Jade Cargill. That's my night 1 WrestleMania main event. Jade Cargill wins the SmackDown women's title in Philadelphia. Let's go with it. I think there are a bunch of people that you sit here and say deserve the right to main event the biggest night of them all: Seth Rollins, the Usos, Big Gunther, etc. But there is a once in a generational act and talent that is at your fingertips, and with the entrance that she could have inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Give me Storm. Give me Storm from the X-Men. Give me Jade Cargill with that entrance in that moment, fighting the woman of the WWE Women's Division in Charlotte Flair.
I actually like that.
Yeah,
I don't. The match in ring wouldn't be great.
no. But yeah, the moment
is there, like,
and if you're realistically telling me that eventually we'll talk night 2 in a minute, but you got to find a place to put Seth Rollins versus somebody. You got to find a place to put Gunther versus somebody. You got to find a place to put the Uso versus the Uso. You got to find a way to put, maybe if we have that Brock Lesnar Solo Sikoa match. There's a lot of really good matches that could take place leading up to a spectacle to end the show, to where a 15-minute women's match with hella awesome entrances and production, you can be okay with that being the end because you had a bunch of really good stuff leading into it.
Fair.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. To do something different. I think if there's a city that would really appreciate the crowning moment of Gunther becoming world heavyweight champion, I think it's Philly. So I think sometime here soon you have the Intercontinental title run end. And I think you have Gunther win the Royal Rumble. And I think you have him and probably Seth Rollins. But you could probably maybe have it be on somebody else, but I'm gonna say Seth Rollins for now. Um, and Gunther becomes world heavyweight champion at
Ooh.
WrestleMania to close out night one.
I love the idea of Gunther. I think he's going to be winning the world title at the show. If it wasn't Seth, who else could it be defending the title against Gunther? I have my answer. That's why I'm just curious, like what you guys would throw out there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he needs to win in Philly. That's why I won't let it be LA Knight.
See, I would go with Brock Lesnar because we kind of had that rumored Brock Gunther match anyway. That was like almost supposed to happen last year, and certainly they could put on a banger. And
Yeah,
you could have Brock. I mean, we all know Brock can just randomly show up one week and become world champion. They never need any build to make Brock Lesnar the world champion. It just sort of happens sometimes. So I ran to the bathroom. I came back. Brock Lesnar's the world champion? Wait, he wasn't even on the show. Like, that's the thing. So as long as Gunther gets the win, I think like that could be a big spectacle. I wouldn't main event with that match, but I think that could be a big spectacle.
I'm trying to think like who would make a ton of sense to be someone for him to beat that isn't Seth. I'm gonna play the long game here. I'm gonna say Finn Balor.
Interesting.
I think Priest wins the title soon. I think he cashes in Money in the Bank. I think they lose the tag titles shortly thereafter, leading to JG Wentworth and Finn Balor doing their own thing. Finn wins, whether he breaks out Demon Finn or not at Royal Rumble. If he does, cool. He beats Priest there. Gunther wins the Rumble, or he wins the Elimination Chamber, and you let Cody win the Rumble. Either way, either one of them, vice versa. Yeah. I'll play the long game of Finn Balor because I don't think it's Seth Rollins because I don't think he's going to hold that title unless he loses it and then wins it back.
that's kind of what I'm envisioning.
Is that he loses it and wins it back?
Lose it, wins it back at Rumble or
Whatever.
or something.
You know, maybe Gunther wins and the chamber matches for the title and Seth wins it back there. That's an option. Yeah. Joe, what's your night one minute?
I really like Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. That's a good one. I feel like because I don't love the idea of having two men's world title matches on the back-to-back nights as the main events. I feel like that's too kind of easy and cheap, and I get it. Like
I would start with one of the nights with Gunther.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like I like when they do that. I'm not a huge fan of let's put both title matches on the main events. And like I've enjoyed when they've had the women main event. I enjoyed last year when we finally had a tag team main event. That was really cool. I wish I wish there was some kind of tag team feud or something right now where it felt like that had the potential to be a thing. You know what? I'm gonna just throw this out there, and I know we were saying last week that if this match when this match happens, it'd be a great opener on one of the nights. But fuck it, his name is main event Jay, so like, give me Jay and Jimmy, give them the main event spot. Let the Bloodline be the main event on both nights one last time, because I don't know that it's going all the way for another year. So like, and truthfully speaking, I don't know that Jimmy and Jey Uso will ever be in a position again where you can argue them deserving a main event spot on a WrestleMania. And it'd be 2 years in a row, which is actually kind of impressive. It would solidify them as major stars of the company. So I'd go with that. I'm going to throw that out there as an option.
I don't hate it. I would much rather open night 2 with and make night 2 Bloodline centric. But I don't hate it. I don't hate closing night 1. The other alternative to Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill was Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill. I thought about that, but I felt like Charlotte was the
I like Charlotte
bigger spectacle.
Yeah.
Than Jade and Bianca. I think. I don't know. Bianca Belair lost the title. Has she been seen?
She has not been back on TV since she lost the title.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Not trying to be an asshole. I haven't watched a ton of full.
No, and again, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. I think
1,000%. I just didn't know if they had started integrating her back in yet.
No, I think there's a perfect spot for her right now on Friday Night SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, my night 2 main event. I guess we're finishing the story, question mark. I mean, I don't think it's Dwayne.
I think it's Dwayne.
I don't. I think everybody fell fucking hook, line, and sinker for it. I think everybody literally went from this to now they're going to get their hopes up that it's Dwayne. And I don't necessarily.
That's a dangerous game to play.
It was a dangerous game for fucking Cody to not walk out of fucking LA with the titles either, but here we are.
I felt
yes and no, because here's the thing: if you're mad that Cody doesn't win it at 39, that's okay because Roman's a heel. The danger in this is Cody winning and it not getting the reaction that you think it's going to get because people are still mad that it's not Dwayne. That's there's a danger line there.
If there's a WrestleMania match that does not need a world title ever, I thought it was Rock and Cena. It's Rock and Roman.
I disagree.
That does not need the world title to me. Because do you sitting here on October 6th, 2023, think that there is an ounce of a chance that Dwayne The Rock Johnson could beat Roman Reigns for the world title?
Could or would?
Could. Do you think that there is a greater than 0% chance that Dwayne walks out of Philadelphia with the world titles?
Yes.
You're a braver man than I am, because I don't think that there is a shot in hell that he walks out of Philadelphia with those titles.
I mean, and it kind of goes to the Edge thing. It kind of goes to, I mean, really anything in this uncharted territory is Vince McMahon is not in charge anymore.
I mean, he's not in charge of roster stuff, but I mean, I think they're still letting Triple H and
They are, but if you know, Endeavor and the head muckety mucks at the TKO group say, you know, The Rock has these movies coming out and the XFL, and he's your biggest star, and look at those ratings. You should give him a title for a month. Like, I don't know how that all of that works. Like, there's,
I think that's worse.
I'm sure it absolutely is.
He's
But
that passing Hogan, and you decide to go, fuck it. It's like walking into the fucking volcano at Lord of the Rings and just taking the ring off and being like, fuck it.
But what I'm saying is, that's why I think it could happen, and that's why I designated that question the way I did. Will it happen? No. Could it happen? Absolutely.
See, I feel like
but for me, but hold on, but for me, it doesn't. The Rock was never going to beat him. The point of the title reign and the tribal chief and all of that, one, obviously, was seeing the elevation of Jimmy and Jay and Solo, but also it's Roman solidifying himself as the greatest in that family. But I still think that it loses some luster if it's just the family story, because the title has been such a huge part, featured or quote unquote secondary, because Roman, how many times have we seen Roman gripping that title, like practically tears in his eyes, because that is a physical embodiment of the weight of the tribal chief and being the best. That's the physical embodiment of it, and I think that needs to remain there if we're going to get the match with Dwayne.
See, my thing is, when it comes to that, I don't think that there's a chance that Rocky walks out of a match with Roman Reigns with a title belt. So from a believability standpoint, Roman Reigns losing the title and fighting The Rock at some other point where he is now fighting for the last piece of the island of relevancy, it's believable that The Rock could beat him. I don't think him walking into a ring in Philadelphia for the world title, that there is a believability standpoint that The Rock is going to walk out of that match with the title.
So, okay, two things. One, I was a lot more confident in The Rock showing up at WrestleMania when it seemed like Hollywood was still going to be on strike for the foreseeable future. Writer's strike is over. Actor's strike is probably soon to follow. It's going to be a hell of a lot of projects trying to get off the ground, trying to get filmed, trying to get content out. I don't know that I think it's a slam dunk that Rock is showing up at WrestleMania anymore.
While he's also trying to merge the XFL with the USFL.
Right, and shoot some movies because he hasn't filmed anything now in 6 months because of all the strikes, or 3 months. Like, there's a lot there. When you guys are faster at Google than I am, when does Roman beat Hogan's run?
I keep this graphic on my.
I love that.
Because we're going to keep referring to it as long as Roman has the title.
It's Crown next year.
Yeah, I would say I think it's September.
Okay, so it's right after SummerSlam.
Yeah, Hogan, to beat Hogan 1,475 days would be around the middle of September 2024.
Okay, so let's put out in a world. I don't think they're gonna have Roman lose before beating the Hogan run.
Agreed.
No, I don't care who he's wrestling. He's not gonna beat The Rock. I mean, he's not gonna lose to The Rock.
Correct.
He's not gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna lose to Cody, and that's why I don't think you put Cody in this position right now, because I don't think you have Cody take two WrestleManias in a row to Roman. I think that's pointless. So I don't think you're putting Cody in there, but I don't think you're putting The Rock in there. I think you need to put someone in there who the audience can get behind and maybe even get to the point where they believe that he's actually going to win the belt. And then they're not going to do the most damage by having Roman still beat this person. If anything, it's going to strengthen the run. It's going to do all that, and it's going to get us even closer to where we're going. If The Rock is around, and I'm going to include The Rock in this match, actually, I'm going to make him the special guest referee or enforcer, like whatever.
I think that might get booed worse.
I don't think so. I don't know.
If he is in Philadelphia and he is not wrestling, that place is going to fucking rock.
Yeah, I think that's problematic as well.
Okay, I mean,
you're talking about the same group of fans that threw D batteries at fucking Santa Claus.
So, all right. So,
well, not really, but continue.
You can take that out if you want. I mean, I still have the same match either way. I'd put Rock in it in some role just to get to Crown Jewel in September. Do Rock and Roman there where it's actually a believable Rock could win. Because you're in Saudi Arabia, where if you're from the 90s and you wrestled, you have a good chance of winning. Goldberg. And at the same time, it's past the Hulk Hogan threshold.
Did you just say that he was wrestling Goldberg at fucking WrestleMania 40?
No.
Oh, Goldberg was the one that...
I was comparing Goldberg. I was putting Goldberg out there as
I apologize.
Yeah, no. Just the if you go to Saudi Arabia and you wrestled in the 90s, you might win a world title. Right. That Goldberg did it first. So, like, I'm just saying, like Rock could end up like being in that, at least be believable, where it's like, oh shit, Rock could actually win this because you're past the Hulk Hogan threshold, you're past all that. For WrestleMania, I think you go Roman versus LA Knight.
Okay.
I will counter with somebody else against Roman after we talk La Knight. That isn't Cody Rhodes, because I have someone. But let's talk La Knight.
I mean, because he's arguably one of the 3 most over guys in the company right now, and I think he's over enough where, like I said, I think there'd be people who'd be like, "Nah, he's gonna win. I believe in it. I'm cheer for him. I think he's gonna win." You're gonna get those like close, 2.999 counts where like you're actually gonna be on the edge of your seat, being like, "Oh shit, I thought LA Knight was gonna win. I thought he had this one," and it's not gonna ruin him. He's not gonna be damaged goods by not winning the belt. Roman's going to have another win under his belt, which is like the 4th year in a row where we all thought he might actually lose, and then he didn't. There's a lot there, and LA Knight, I mean, we're already starting to see the little, like, look, LA Knight's fighting for the world title. If it's not at WrestleMania, then it's at the Royal Rumble or it's at Elimination Chamber. Like, they're building the seeds there anyway. But if he's your most over face on that roster, if he's one of your most over guys that's not just named Cody, if you're going with the whole Steve Austin thing, because look, they can build the storyline being like that, like, hey, Steve Austin had his crowning moment at WrestleMania in Philly, right? Am I wrong about that? Or was it the year before that he
Boston is where he won his first.
Yeah, 95. So, like, if you just, was that right?
Do not ever, when we're in Philadelphia, say Boston, Philly, same place. Do not. Yeah. I will walk the
Joe, I will kick your ass with the people kicking your ass. Okay?
And I will walk away.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, you could sell an LA Knight story. That's all I'm saying.
You could, and I don't necessarily hate it. I think my only fear is LA Knight finally gets a WrestleMania moment and it's inevitably a loss.
I would rather him go into this year's WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion and walk out retaining that title against
I'd rather him be the dude that beats Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title.
I think Gunther's winning that, but
I do too, but like if you
give me LA Knight versus Logan Paul
or that, like, but I'm saying if you want to give LA Knight a featured #1 title shot, give him one that he's gonna win. Give people that moment.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My guy here if it's not Cody. It's one of the few guys that's actually beat Roman since he started this run.
Franklin?
It's Seth Franklin Rollins.
Yeah.
Because it's believable. It's believable that Seth can get into Roman's head.
Mm-hmm.
That he knows the flaws, that he knows what he can and can't do, what he has to avoid. It's the familiarity where it's like, you've played this team 3 times, you're gonna play him a 4th time. What do you know about him? Everything. So if there's a guy and Seth losing to Roman and Roman finally getting the clean victory over Seth that he really hasn't gotten since he started the God Run. You close that chapter of the book. You move on.
Yeah.
Seth gets cheered. We get to whoa, 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 all the way down to the ring, fucking loud as fuck. He probably hits about 13 stomps, has 7 near falls, and he goes for the stomp, and Roman hulks up and fucking chokes him out. And Roman escapes, but he escapes clean.
Yeah.
And you get him past Hogan, and 41 in Minneapolis is probably when you finish the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. I think Cody gets his moment next year, be it Minneapolis, be it Atlanta, be it wherever, be it fucking London. I don't give a shit.
He's not London.
It won't be London next year. If they're gonna do a London Mania, they're gonna have to plan it further out.
Fly all the way the fuck to London.
Yes.
Here's why I think even with all of those things that Joe said, and then we'll close up this topic and move back into the fast lane, is why I think it could still be Dwayne. The Rock's gonna wrestle one match, and it's at WrestleMania. So even with filming, even with
you don't Prince Aziz Alia Akbar could offer him enough zeros to fight at Crown Jewel?
Yo, Black Adam was a pretty big bomb.
I mean, he could, but I also don't know that The Rock needs the Prince's money. Like,
I mean, I don't think The Rock needs to make movies to make money. I think he's made enough money if he just wants
sure, but like,
he probably could. But if someone's going to sit there and write you a check with a whole lot of zeros, and you're trying to fucking merge your football league with another football league, those extra zeros won't hurt.
No, but again, I think you're coming back to do it at WrestleMania, and he's only going to have to make a few appearances in the build up to it, between Rumble and Mania, and then you have one match. And so like, even if you're having business meetings about the XFL merger, one thing 2020 taught us is you can do a lot of meetings virtually. So he can be at Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. on Monday, February 12th, while there's a business meeting about the XFL going on in Los Angeles. So I don't think the logistics of those sort of things will stop it from happening. But yeah, obviously we're within 170 something days now, I think, till Mania, which is fucking wild. So we're countdown's on.
We'll have a lot of time to discuss.
Yeah.
All of us are going. We're all sitting together, so we'll have more time to discuss what happens. But let's move to the next topic at hand. We're getting back into the fast lane. We're bringing back this fucking name of the fucking show, BB. When are they bringing back Great Balls of Fire?
Ooh, hopefully never.
It'll be an NXT show.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, guys. We're going to do this next week, and I want you both to be prepared. We are going to do an auction draft.
Oh, Christ.
Of horrible pay-per-view names. if any of the members of the 3CT show are listening to this show and would like to be a part of said auction draft, we can start the show with that, and then you guys can boogie if you want. If you'd like to pass that message to any of the guys,
message the group so I don't forget.
Okay, I'll shoot the message off tomorrow. I don't want to do it now. It's 12:30, and some people probably have to work tomorrow. Probably trying to be a decent human being. But we're back in the fast lane. We will be having another premium live event. This one from the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, home of your Indiana Pacers. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Probably.
5 matches have been announced as of tonight. There may be more added to it. I don't know.
Is this Saturday?
It is.
Yeah, this Saturday night.
5 matches? That's weird.
They'll probably add one tomorrow on SmackDown.
There's probably going to be another match added tomorrow. I'm surprised Gunther isn't defending the Intercontinental title on this show, too.
Yeah, bro.
He had a contract signing and defended it on the same night.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought it was going to be on this
That's
show.
what I thought, too. All right, let's start off. Raw and SmackDown tag title match. It is the champions, the Judgment Day of Damian Priest and Finn Balor taking on the new tag team of Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso. Jim?
Give me the Judgment Day. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go. If they're gonna lose the tag titles, it's not gonna be to Cody and Jay.
Why not?
Because I mean, not that wrestling makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
Why make dollars when you can make sense?
Joseph? I'm just going to take Cody and Jay because I think I might make Jim's head explode.
Oh, I mean, it's not going to bother me. I love Cody and I like Jey Uso, but it's another. It would just be another one in the long line of baffling tag team title decisions with this company.
I'm going to get back to Cody Rhodes in a minute because there's something that I want to pull here out of my brain that I'm just going to save it. I'm going to pick the Judgment Day, but I think that if Cody and Jay win, something else is happening. 6-man tag match between Hurt Business 2.0. No, that is not their actual name. That's just what I'm calling them. Bob Lashley and the Prophets from the Street, Montez and Angelo, taking on the LWO. Cage match has it as Joaquin Wilde, Rey Mysterio, and Santos Escobar, with Cruz del Taco and Zelina Vega in the corner. What? Oh, it's Del Toro. My bad. What? I like Del Taco. It's a nice restaurant. It's not racist, I swear. No, I like Del Taco. Del Taco's a really good Mexican restaurant. What are you talking about? I didn't call him a cunt.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, I got some work to do for the Tuesday show this week.
We broke him out for the first time in a little while?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Did you guys start talking about our OnlyFans?
No. She actually get naked on those?
I don't know. I'll do a journalism.
I was say I think we need to do a journalism.
Yeah, we'll do a journalism. I'm taking Bob and the Prophets.
Oh, easy. It's definitely Team Bob.
Bob.
That's an obvious one.
Yeah.
Triple threat match for the WWE Women's title is champion Io Sky defending her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Joseph.
I don't know. Fucking Charlotte Flair.
Jim Othie.
Yeah, you can't get to 27 without getting to 16. So Charlotte Flair.
The square root of 69 is 8 something.
That is facts.
So she's won. She's won the Raw title 6 times, SmackDown title 7 times,
13.
NXT title 2 times. So that's 15.
Divas title.
She won the Divas title. That's 16. She hasn't won this title yet.
Wow, you said the optimal road there.
Well, of course.
I can't get to Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania if she doesn't have the title. Might as well win it now. Let's go, Charlotte Flair.
There it is, 17, breaking Daddy's record.
Yeah, suck it, Rick. I won 17th in.
I will tell you this right now. If they show Ric Flair on camera in this building, she's definitely winning.
Will he?
And
Or
he's
will he
definitely
not?
going to cry like a bitch.
If the name Reed comes up even
Oh
once
my
in a
God.
promo,
Oh, no.
she's definitely winning.
Jesus, Joe.
What?
Will you stop?
You do it for the dead people. We all know.
I
that.
can't turn my own camera off.
Where
I'm
line?
literally on the camera with you, but I want to turn the camera off right now. There goes Jim. See you, bye. Jesus.
I did it for you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you. World heavyweight title match. Last man standing. Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Toyota. Jim.
Rollins wins, Priest cashes in and is your new champion.
And that's why that's where I was going, where I said if Cody and Jay walk out with the tag titles, I think it's a slam dunk that Priest cashes in.
Yeah, but that I also think that them retaining the tag titles will almost take people off the scent of a cash in. He does the cash in and then they freebird rule it to JD McWhat the fuck.
I was gonna say, is this like a on Monday? He literally goes, I have this to worry about. You do this with Finn, and just gives him the tag title.
Yeah, here you go, JD McWhat's your name?
Oh, JG Wentworth, I love him. Joe?
I refuse to believe that 3 people of Asian descent would all lose on the same show, so I think Shinsuke is going to win.
Oh, Io and Asuka.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, who's the third?
Who's
I was gonna say,
the one you were counting?
I was like, well, I had Nakamura, and then I was like looking over the rest of the day, and like I just saw, because like in a triple threat match, like yes, there's a winner, there's a loser, and then there's the third person.
Yes.
It's like a devil's three-way.
Threesomes.
But you know what I mean. So like, it's like the loser of a triple threat match is like a cuck, really,
Yes.
because they're just sitting in the corner with a Dixie cup, like really, like there's. So they didn't really lose. They didn't win, but they didn't lose.
They win.
They didn't win,
no,
but they didn't lose either. Like they still, you know,
it's like tying in football.
They're like they still come to fruition, but like
Asuka can just go make herself a sandwich. It's fine.
oh Jesus, yeah, wow.
Well, she would make herself like a ramen bowl, right? Like, I mean,
oh my God, this just gets progressively worse. It's just getting progressively worse as you speak.
Yeah, no, Nakamura.
Like you just need like something like next to you that you can just be like.
Honestly, I kind of want Nakamura to win though too, because like it would solidify him. Like he doesn't have a world title reign here in WWE, and this current heel run has been so awesome. It kind of sucked for it to just go nowhere. So I kind of would love to see him win and see what happens from there.
I hope it goes nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be fine with Nakamura winning, but
I want to see him choppy Seth Rollins.
Oh my God.
Come on.
You really want the guy and tie reference? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Go fuck yourself.
There it is. Attaboy Christian. There it is. I love this guy.
Indeed.
Finally, last match of this card so that Joe can stop hammering the racist portion of our show. It is
I'm gay. You can't be racist if you're gay.
I don't think that's how that works. I'm just saying. I don't actually think that's how that works.
Oh, fuck off.
See, the support agreed with me.
Ernest hacked my board.
I don't even know if that was PG.
Yeah, I don't think that was our truth. It is John Cena and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Night.
Taking on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. Joseph.
I mean, like, yeah, John Cena and LA Knight are gonna win this match, right? Come on. This is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cena and Knight.
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering that Solo and Jimmy are like Pacific Islander American, like again, Seth Nakamura is gonna win. Like you can't have them all lose in one night.
You can't have them all like Joe. Do you hear yourself?
Why? I'm not wrong.
The views and opinions expressed by Joe Lopez are those solely of Joe Lopez. Do not have the same merit of Big Jim Sports and Mike Bernard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
Way out of line. Way out of line.
You can't have them. You can't have all of them lose.
You can't.
What's going on? Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, I don't think that there's a way that this isn't La Knight and
God, no.
I mean, if it is, I think we have other questions that need to be answered. Is this Roman Reigns coming out and making sure that, they leave victorious? Like, is this a Roman
Victorious
and then fighting John Cena for the title at a show? Maybe he's the guy who he beats at Crown Jewel.
I mean,
Yeah.
possibly.
I mean, unless you have Cena and La Knight win, and then Roman comes out and says, all right, well, one of you can have a title match, and then we get a Cena versus La Knight match, which I think would be a lot of fun.
You think John Cena's gonna be at Mania?
I do.
Does he wrestle?
I think you will. Like, I think they'll find a way to make it work. I mean, I think, now that things seem to be going back to how they were in Hollywood, that his schedule is going to get a lot lighter on the WWE side. But I think this little return back, I think he's going to do one more Mania match. I do.
I'm going to actually, if I don't do it next week, I'll do it the week after. I'm going to do who's the veteran going to face at WrestleMania? I'm going to bring in like Lesnar, Cena, etc., and we're just going to rapid fire who we think they're going to fight at WrestleMania. I think that'd be fun. All right, that's Fastlane. Do we know of anything they're going to add?
I have no clue. I haven't watched SmackDown in weeks.
Oh,
They would have added that already because that's a Raw thing.
Couldn't even tell you.
is it a Raw Women's title match that could happen?
Rhea Ripley hasn't defended the title in God knows how long.
She defended it the other week against Raquel.
Buddy, I haven't.
Whatever that last show was. Fucking.
I literally just read results, and if there's something that I feel like I have to watch based off of a ranking, I'll go watch it. But I really haven't watched a full show. And
Could you
Yeah,
throw?
no, I think that's fine. She just defended it against.
I don't know. That's why I was just God knows how long. We could have
So-
been a week ago.
I know this might seem like no. Anything they throw on at this point is probably going to be a SmackDown match, which is weird because this is already a very SmackDown heavy show.
Yeah, you have the U.S. champion in the 6-man tag match, so you can't even bring in a U.S. title match.
Wasn't like either you're cold announcing a Raw match because there's no feuds on Raw right now that are not represented here, other than like the stuff with Gunther, which like you just kind of went no. I mean, I guess you could do a DIY versus Imperium match like without Gunther. You know what I mean? Like Gunther in the corner, but you can do
the two of them versus Ludwig and Giovanni.
Yeah, you can do that. It's not a main event match, but you can do that somewhere on this card just to kill 20 minutes.
See, I feel like they're trying to be quick, fast, in a hurry with this show. I don't feel like they're trying to make this out to be a 3-hour show.
No, I agree, but you're gonna get at least one more match. There's no way it's a 5-match card.
Nah, something will get added. I just don't know what.
You gotta add something, yeah. Like even if it is just a throwaway tag match, like what I just said, but like something, you gotta add something.
Payback. She defended it against Raquel at Payback.
Oh, okay.
because that's just I've watched enough Raw and SmackDown lately, and even I can't think of any obvious no, this is a feud that's been going on that I'm almost thinking what if you throw an NXT match on there in some capacity, you have Becky defend the NXT women's title against somebody, or
she fucked up her arm. She was supposed to wrestle Tegan this week, and she had a fucking goddamn hole in her arm.
Right,
Yeah,
I forgot about
that from the match against Tiffy Time.
Yeah, I mean something fucking Dragon Lee and somebody, or I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Let's do this one. It happened last night on NXT. Give me British Strong Style and Ridge Holland against Gallus.
Perfect.
It'll be a fun match. It'll be a fun 10 to 15 minute 6-man tag match. Fuck it.
Sure.
I mean, it's something to be a 6th match, and it has a little.
Like I said, I haven't watched SmackDown, so
I'm looking at the results from last Friday's SmackDown, and literally it's Jimmy Uso versus Carl Anderson. You're not doing anything with Anderson, Gallows, and whatever.
No.
Austin Leroy versus Cameron Grimes. I don't know what we're doing there.
I mean, you could do Theory and Waller in some kind of tag
versus Grimes
match.
and somebody.
Versus Grimes and someone, or just other tag teams on SmackDown.
You could do them versus the Brawling Brutes, who they wrestled 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there you go.
In a rematch.
Just a throwaway tag match.
Not opposed to it. I think there's got to be something added. I just don't know what. Maybe you make it a number 1 contender for the tag title match. Fatal
Sure.
4. 8-man invitational. I don't know. Fuck it. All right. Wrestlers of the week. It is a. Yes, I fixed my spreadsheet. All right. A lot of fun stuff happened this week. Who wants to go first?
Doesn't matter.
Joseph, go.
Edge.
Adam. Oh.
The Ledge and
Jim.
Ilya Dragunov, new NXT champion.
This is where I want to take Trick Williams so we can have a, whoop that trick chant in the middle of our show. But he lost the title.
He lost
Tuesday,
a day later.
So I don't really know that I can whoop that trick whenever you lose that trick. Fuck.
It's tricky.
It's tricky to rock around this all time. It's tricky. Good match for the IC title. Give me the Ring General. Give me Gunther. Joseph.
Fuck, I took Edge. Let me get Christian. He did retain the TNT title and possibly fuck Nick Wayne's mom.
I will take Becky Lynch. Really, really good. I did go back and watch that the Extreme Rules match with her, and
wasn't that good?
Really, really fucking good. But yeah, big retain there for Becky.
Trying to figure out who I want to take here. I don't know that I want to take Shibata bread, but
what about Kingston? He retained 18 belts.
He's not Draggy 8 belt. He'll never be Draggy 8 belts, so I cannot give him the same prestige as Draggy 8 belts.
What about Brian for winning the dream match?
If it was in the Tokyo Dome, maybe. But it wasn't. You know what? They retained the NXT tag titles. Give me Tony Mozzarella. Give me the Gabagool family.
Nice.
Because Brian not winning the worst title in New Japan Pro Wrestling history, but beating Zack Sabre Jr. made me not want to pick him because that title's god awful. Tony Meatballs
Antonio
and
Gabagol.
Stacks. All right. So that is Wrestlers of the Week. As we talked about, Gunther was the Wrestler of the Month. Congrats to him. Anything else before we go?
No, I don't think so.
Hold on. Damn it. What was I going to say to you guys? I said I wanted to hold off on something and come back to it.
I don't
Fuck.
recall.
All right. I'll have to listen to the episode because it'll re-jog my memory and I'll send you guys a text message. Joseph, you have anything?
No, let's just be nice to all the Asian wrestlers out there.
Jim?
Follow me at Big Jim Sports at the link tree. That's where you'll find 3CT Huddle Up and discussions with a nobody. Real good Thursday show this week. We have a really fun Halloween themed Tuesday show coming up on 3CT side. Huddle Up is plugging away throughout the football season, but yeah, just hit the link tree on me Twitter.
You can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. You can follow the show at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. Always the number, never the word. In that link tree, you'll find the Huddle Up Incorporated brand. You can follow us over there. You can listen to the FKC Fantasy Hour. 5 for Fighting is starting. I broke the news to Ernest. I haven't broken the news to you yet, so I guess
I listened.
Okay.
It's fine. Totally fine.
It's so hard to find 5 topics to talk about sometimes.
Honestly, there's weeks I skip observations, man. It's cool.
Yeah, but I like to be the open line of communication to let you know what the plan is, so that you're not like, are you gonna do one of these shows anytime soon, my guy?
Yeah,
So,
all good.
You can also listen to me Sunny Days and Double Plays, a Palm Beach baseball podcast. Yeah, I think that's it for this week, guys. As always, we appreciate you hanging out with us. We appreciate you taking out some time to enjoy the wrestling banter that we have here. We'll see you next week right here on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.